Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Behind the Plays. I am your grateful host, Davion _OW. As you can see on the awesome nameplates, you know that thing. And this way, because I can't tell what direction anything is anymore. It's my left, but your guys is right. Eric is here with me, the gracious, unofficial, official co-host.
Hello. I am here. I did make it today.
I don't know
was
where
invited back.
I don't know where I'd be without you. Let's be real for the football ones. Wait, I did find my Eagles hoodie, so we're rocking that today because.
Okay, I busted out some wolf fat gear.
You know what? That's just as okay. You know.
Yeah, we'll take that.
We'll take
college
that.
Football action.
We have
2-0.
They are good for them, dude.
Yeah, they beat Cal and then they played Idaho State last weekend, and then they're playing in
Idaho
Kansas
State.
Yeah, it's an FCS school. Or not FCS, FCS. I keep thinking FCS in Division II. I get those mixed up. It's an FCS school.
Dog, I didn't know there was a thing. Well, I know FCS was a thing, right? But, I didn't know Idaho State was a thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of West Coast teams play Idaho State.
Poor Idaho State.
Yeah, probably the FCS schools you know of are North Dakota and South Dakota State.
Yeah, because, Dallas Goddard and Carson Wentz.
Yeah, those are the big FCS schools. But no, another big one is Weber State. We played Weber State.
Weber
before.
State. I know Weber State.
Yeah. So yeah, you probably know a handful of them, like UC Davis, maybe.
Yes.
UC San Diego.
Yes.
Yeah, those are all FCS schools.
Yeah, UC San Diego. I know about that one. I actually went to that. I went to there for a church camp.
Really?
Yeah, it's a cool school. Very cool campus.
We toured UC Davis when we were picking schools.
Not Davis, UC San Diego. Sorry.
Oh, I've seen their campus too.
Yeah, it's
when we played
gorgeous.
San Diego State, we stayed right next to UC San Diego's campus.
Yeah, that campus is amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
Any campus in California is pretty dope. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Most of them are super close to the beach, and you get really cool views and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, we went and saw UC Davis, and we went and saw Stanford. Stanford is massive.
I think that's one school I've always wanted to go see, just to see. Because that school is huge.
Yeah, Stanford was honestly a little overwhelming. I'm not going to lie.
That's crazy. But we are all positive vibes this week.
Yes.
For some crazy reasons.
We're in good mood.
For crazy reasons too.
Because we won some games.
Holy
we won
crap.
some games.
We won
and
some
by
games.
I mean the Eagles and Broncos, because of our pick'ems, we did not win some games.
Oh no, yeah, positive records. We have only had in the history of doing these, we've had one week where we've gone below 500. Just one. And it was
that was me. That was
week 16, I think.
No, was it week 16? I feel like it was week 11 last year.
Let's find out. I have the receipts. Let's see. It would be not the 20.
Yeah, but otherwise we peaked at 8-8.
Yeah, we had the chance to go 10-6, but that last game was kind of nutty. Yeah, that game was wild, though. By the way, that game was insane.
Yeah.
You went 7-9, week 16. Week 11, we both went 7-7, not below 500.
Oh, okay.
So close enough, but not it.
Close enough. We might as well be.
Yeah.
Yes. But we both went 9-7 with our pick'ems this week because there were some interesting games.
One day we'll have a 14-win week, right? We'll have a 14 good pick'em.
We only split on 2 games, and we each went 1-1 on those 2 games. So.
Yeah. So we just had the same record. So we're tied. I won last season's pick'ems.
And to be fair, those were 2 of the closer games of the week.
Those were good games. Yeah. For what they were good games.
I mean, yeah, I think they're the closest scores of all the games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 1 point and 3.
Besides, 1 point and 3 points.
Oh, Dolphins.
I guess
Patriots.
3 points is. 3 points I guess is tied, but yeah. With the Browns Chiefs, or no, that was 4 points. Browns Chiefs. That's how math works.
It was 33-29.
Yeah, it was literally the 2 closest games were the 2 we were different.
No,
so at least we have that going for us.
Was it?
We weren't.
We split Vikings, Bengals.
Vikings, Bengals.
Dolphins,
you said
Patriots.
Vikings, I said Bengals. Yeah, those are the 2 we split.
Oh well. Oh yeah, 1-1. Or it was 1 point and 3 points. Yeah, and that
3
point
points in
game went to
overtime.
OT. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Might as well. Yeah. Okay.
That's
anyway.
about as good as you get.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, if you guys don't know how this works by now, we go over the entirety of our week 1 predictions, kind of give you guys how our records went. Then we give you our entirety of our week 2 predictions, and then we end the podcast. Sag. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the tweet.
actually really excited to go over this week because I felt like there was a lot to learn from this week, and I think there's a lot to come from this week, which is interesting.
Yes.
And I'm trying not to overreact on certain things because that's typically how I react to things. I overreact a lot, but I'm just gonna vibe. Week 1, it was great for the Eagles, and that's all I cared about at the end of the day. But the rest of the teams, we got some things to talk about because we're gonna have some fun with this one. Okay.
Yes, I agree.
Let's kick things off with the opener, reigning Super Bowl champion Buccaneers in their home stadium that they just won the Super Bowl in against the Dallas Cowboys and the returning Dak Prescott on Thursday Night Football.
This game was wild.
Amazingly wild,
honestly,
actually. And I had a feeling the Cowboys were going to be decent. Like, I was like, the Cowboys are going to be okay.
I rewatched our prediction podcast, and I think pretty close to my exact words were, this is one of the cruddier kickoff matchups I've ever seen, and this is probably one of the best kickoff games I remember in a long time.
Yeah, this game was nuts.
Yes, this game was nuts. And here's what I learned. I think I perfectly estimated the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I was expecting from the Buccaneers.
Absolutely.
I think I underestimated the Cowboys.
I think you did too. I think I may have. I feel like I'm hitting them spot on, but at the same time, I don't know because the Cowboys are always like this. They play in close games, but they always lose them, so we're not really like sure. Like, they always do something. They're not quite Falcon-esque, but they're like close enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're up there for sure.
Right. But the Buccaneers, shockers for me, Antonio Brown played like he was in his prime this week.
Yes, Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski both looked tremendous.
And Rob Gronkowski was on my bench this week. It didn't matter at the end of the day,
he was on my bench in another week too, which it did matter because I lost by like 30 points, I think, and Rob Gronkowski had 29, like 25 of them.
Yeah, he had 29 points for me.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, you need a tight end, and I was shopping one of my beautiful tight ends that I have because I have Travis Kelce.
Why do I need a tight end?
Because you have Mark Andrews, who only put up 5 points, and Dallas Goedert, he's inconsistent, right?
All right.
Sure. Not true because I love Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, hit me with some Travis Kelce offers.
Yeah, no. I'm giving you Gronk.
We'll see what happens.
I'm just messing around. But this game, I seriously, like, the Buccaneers played out of their minds. Now, I think there's one big thing that needs to be addressed, and that's that PI call at the end of the game, or no call that potentially should have been called. How did you feel about that play?
The left arm didn't extend entirely.
That's my opinion.
That's my opinion. Though, that's about as close as you get to a no call.
Yeah.
And it actually being not PI, in my opinion, as you get.
Yeah, I didn't think it was pass interference.
We're talking like inches away from that being PI.
Yeah, I could see it. The thing is that his momentum, the defender, whoever was guarding, who caught that pass? Was it Godwin?
It was Godwin.
Yeah, whoever was guarding him was backpedaling, and when Godwin made his stop, the dude was kind of already falling, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the push-off didn't feel like a push-off. It felt like dude took his momentum and just... It was like... Do you remember... I don't know if you... Actually, you might not remember this. I don't remember... it was the last championship Jordan won. He does like a little shove, right? A little push-off on dude guarding him's butt for the game winner in Game 6 to give him a 6th ring. And it was like a momentum thing, right? Like, he didn't push him. Like, it wasn't an offensive foul. Gave him a little love tap. Bang. That's how it felt, right? So, like, he used his momentum against him, and he just fell in the process. Made a great play. And Brady did Brady things and put that ball precisely where he needed to. So,
yeah, and here's the thing. If that's PI, then every back shoulder throw ever is probably PI.
Yeah, and it's like, it's hard to call those for that.
Yeah,
especially
in
that scenario.
That being PI.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think AB is looking really good. Gronk looked amazing. Godwin looked really good. Tom Brady looks like he's still like 25. But what else is new?
I mean, that looked like the Week 1 Buccaneers. Like, it didn't look perfect, but it looked pretty darn excellent.
Yeah, and it was the thing about the Cowboys is that they were strictly a passing team. They threw like 58 times or something crazy like that.
Yeah, there was 108 balls thrown in this game.
Yeah.
Tom Brady threw 50 times and Dak threw 58.
Zeke barely touched the ball. Pollard did most of the carrying, it felt like, because he was getting those dump off passes. He was getting those like weird shovel passes. Like, he was getting majority of the stuff.
Pollard had 3 carries plus four receptions.
Mm-hmm. And that doesn't even include
in
like
total,
some of
that
the drops.
would be 43 yards.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even count the drops.
Right. So it's like, I think Zeke, they need to probably establish a little more run. Because if they would establish a little bit more run with Zeke at the beginning of the game, they might have had a little more control and possibly been able to win this game.
I agree. I mean, we've said it a million times. The Cowboys need to give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, and then they're going to start winning football games.
And they
When
just
Zeke
refuse
runs
to.
the ball more than like 20 times a game,
Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys, I think, have like a winning record. I think I've seen that statistic somewhere. It's like whenever Zeke touches the ball more than 20 times, the Cowboys are something like 14-3 or something
Right.
stupid like that.
And he doesn't even need to get like 100 yards on the ground, right? He needs to get like, he can get like
he needs
50.
to touch it. He needs to touch the ball.
Right. If he gets like 50, 60,
Because-
right? That's good because then the defenses have to play up to respect Ezekiel Elliott because Ezekiel Elliott is
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
good. And then Dak can do Dak things because their wide receiver
Yes.
core is insane. So
I
I
mean,
don't
Amari
understand
Cooper
why
had
they do
13
it.
Amari Cooper had 13 receptions and CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions.
Right. And
because
CeeDee Lamb
Dak's
caught an
throwing the ball.
amazing touchdown pass. Like he caught that and just nyoomed.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
that's with the fact that Dak threw it 58 times.
exactly.
Like, Amari Cooper shouldn't be having 13 receptions a game. He should be having like 9 to 10 receptions a game that are all for big plays.
Exactly. Because you have to, because they respect the run because Zeke touched the ball.
Yes. Exactly.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But yeah, that's enough about that. I just like, great game though. Like, Greg Zuerlein missed a couple kicks.
Yes.
But like, I don't think that impacted the game, right? At the end of the
I
day,
don't think so,
I
too-
think
not
I
too
think
much,
Tom
at
Brady probably would have scored a touchdown anyway in that last drive if he had to, you know. So it's I don't play the what if game in that scenario. Like they could have won that game by playing a little bit better defense. That's plain and simple to me. Moving on to the afternoon games, we got Sunday. First week in the NFL, Seahawks at Indianapolis, Carson Wentz in a brand new jersey, and I thoroughly sad to see Carson Wentz in a brand new jersey, but was happy to see him play well. Like, he didn't play poor. His team lost. Seahawks took that one 28-16, but that was mostly because his defense let him down, because they Tyler Lockett murdered them boys.
Yes. Russell Wilson had 4 touchdown passes on
Yeah.
18 completions. He only completed 18 passes, and 4 of them were for touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, nearly just over a fifth, nearly a quarter of your passes were touchdown passes.
That's crazy to think about, dude.
Which is nuts. Yeah, I mean, I think the Colts showed us that they're a good team with Carson Wentz. I think the Seahawks showed us that they're a top-tier team in the NFL. They're one of the best teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably, I think, like a top 5 to 6 team in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Seahawks are really, really good. I think the Colts are good, and we talked about this with the Colts with their season prediction.
Yeah.
I like the Colts, and I think the Colts are potentially a playoff contender. It's can they get through this really tough stretch with a handful of wins?
Yeah, they need to like try to go 3-3 maybe.
Yeah,
To open the season,
through
if they can.
Through the first 8, I think
I'm
they
sorry,
need to try
8,
to
4
go
and
at
4.
least like 4-4.
That's what I meant. Through the first 8, 4-4.
Yeah, if they're gonna have a chance of playoffs, they need to come out of the first 8 4-4 at least.
Yeah, but with how
Because
their
I think they
division's looking-
realistically could finish like 11-6, 10-7 if they do that.
Yeah. Like, with how their division's looking, though, to start, I mean, it's very possible that even if they go that 4-4, they very well could win the division still, in my eyes.
Easily.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
their division's looking a little bit interesting.
I don't think the Titans are a juggernaut. I think the Titans are beatable for the division.
I thought they were a
and-
juggernaut, bro. I was
No,
thoroughly
they're not, I'm
disappointed
sorry.
at that
Yeah,
first week, bro.
They're a good team. I don't think they're great.
Yeah.
I think they're a playoff team probably, but
We'll see.
that's
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I definitely overhyped the Titans this year.
Yeah, quite a bit. Quite a bit.
But yeah, I think I was very happy to see Carson Wentz play in a system that worked for him because he threw 25-38, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, that was a Carson Wentz stat line. That's a good stat line,
Yeah,
right?
that's a great stat line for Carson.
That's
Wentz,
awesome.
Especially, brand new system having such
Yeah.
a terrible year last year.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
And the thing is, it
Carson
doesn't feel
Wentz
like I don't think it's really and coming off that type of injury too. Like, I don't think it's a brand new system per se because Frank Reich is the one calling the shots, and that's a system he very well knows because he was playing under him in Philly. So
Yes.
I am very excited to see what he can do under this system moving forward. So hopefully more power to Carson Wentz, but Russell Wilson, dude, he was dotting him up. Tyler Lockett, 4 catches, 100 yards, 2 TDs. DK had 4 catches, 60 yards and a touchdown. I mean, like, what else? What else do you need to say? Like,
Yeah.
that team played amazing, and they showed out. Plain and simple.
Yeah, they look very good.
I hope they can keep that up because the Seahawks are a fun team to watch. That NFC West is going to be lit.
Yes.
Next up, my surprise of the week.
Yeah.
Texans,
Definitely.
Jaguars heading to good old Houston to play the Texans. And we said they were going to win 1 game all year or none, and they come out and start 1-0.
Yeah, the Texans beat the Jags 37-21.
Like, convincingly.
Yeah, pretty convincing win. Like, they started very, very, very hot in the first half. They put up, 27 points in the first half? It was 27-7 at halftime?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of nuts. I mean, Tyrod looked decent. Mark Ingram looked really good, too, especially, after not having a super consistent year last year in Baltimore.
True.
He looked really good in Houston this year, at least week 1.
Brandon Cooks is like, yo, you want to talk about me not being a number 1 receiver? Hey.
I know.
Hey.
Dude, I started Brandon Cooks in fantasy this week.
Yeah, I know. I was so nervous.
I'm like, that's a risky move, but it paid off.
Yeah, it was really. I was nervous when I saw that stat line. I was like, what is Brandon Cooks doing right now? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
five
like,
receptions,
I
132
like a lot
yards.
of the things I saw out of Houston. But I think more than anything, I think the Jaguars just feel a little bit
New.
unfresh.
They feel new. Like it's like
Yeah,
a whole new Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. Like
I know Trevor Lawrence threw 332 for 3 touchdowns.
And
Trevor
3
Lawrence
picks.
Also 3 picks. Exactly. He threw 3 picks, which I don't know if I want to chalk that up to rookie mistakes because that's not only rookie Trevor Lawrence mistakes, that's potentially rookie Urban Meyer mistakes.
Yeah, I think there was a lot that went into that. His 3 interceptions, because like he threw. I did see like 1 or 2 of the interceptions, and one of them definitely looked like, Trevor, why would you throw that ball in that area? Like that was a bad read. But outside of that, it was
I know
like,
I didn't get to see too many of the highlights, but if I'm looking at the stats, the fact that Christian Kirksey has an interception, that's what concerns me because
Yeah.
you don't see too many linebackers get interceptions like
Exactly.
for free.
Yeah, but I will say I like the receiving core that they're bringing on this season with DJ Chark, Marvin Jones. If they can get them, like they got them kind of going. But the problem is that DJ Chark had 3 catches, 86 yards, a touchdown on 12 targets.
Yeah, you got to get the ball there. It's
12 targets, and he
I
only
mean-
caught 3 of them. Something's a little off there.
yeah,
And it's
do
not
like the Jaguars
mostly.
receiving
I don't
core
think
on
it's
paper.
DJ Chark's fault either. By the way.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars need to just tighten a few things up. I don't think the Jaguars are not in a good position to make like a run this year.
No, and I
don't
didn't
think they're even
expect them
close
to.
to being a playoff team.
No.
But I think like this will be a good trial year to see how Trevor Lawrence goes
And Urban Meyer.
and Urban Meyer even, and just to kind of feel it out and see potentially how it's going to look next year.
Right. I think Trevor
I don't
Lawrence
think-
looked fine. He just had it's like a rookie game in my opinion. Like
Exactly.
he just
I mean-
he's a rookie. Like that's kind of what I.
He was explosive
Yeah.
in both directions. It was his first NFL game. That's kind of expected, honestly.
Exactly. But yeah, that's the Jacksonville. Houston just balled out. Like I'm not gonna take anything away from them. Tyrod Taylor balled out, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Mark Ingram balled out. Phillip Lindsay even got a touchdown this week. Like they were.
Yeah,
they
shout out
were-
to Philip Lindsay. I love Philip Lindsay.
You know who else got a touchdown this week? Danny Amendola. Did you know he even
I know,
played
dude,
for this team?
I think they signed him like a few days before.
Dude, I didn't even know he was there. I heard, I was watching the highlights. They're like, yeah, Tyrod Taylor dumps it off to Danny Amendola, scores. I was like, who?
Yeah. No, I think I saw it on Twitter. Like, I think Danny Amendola signed like Tuesday last week or something like that.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, shout out to the Texans for winning. Honestly, a good game. They deserved that. That was a great win for them. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry for doubting y'all. Y'all do your thing. Tyrod, I am sorry, bro. Could you imagine if Deshaun Watson was still there though? That team would feel like it's 10
Deshaun
times
Watson
better.
is still there.
You know what I mean? That team
there
feels
in
like it's like
spirit.
10 times better for some reason. Because
It does.
Deshaun Watson's just a god.
No, like genuinely, the Texans are a decent team with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, they feel like I don't even feel like they're that bad with Tyrod Taylor at the helm. That's the weird part.
Exactly.
And I don't think Tyrod Taylor's a bad quarterback, right? Because I think he's just had
No,
very
he's good.
unlucky circumstances, right?
No, he's a solid starter in the NFL.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season goes for the Texans. We'll talk more about them next week because I don't think they're going to win that week. And if they win next week, then We really got to be on the. We got to be the choo choo. I got to hop on the. I got to hop on the Texan train.
We'll start paying attention to the Texans a little bit more.
Yeah, that's something.
Okay,
moving on was
Falcons.
my favorite game of the week. The Eagles.
I wonder why.
Actually, my favorite game to watch this week was most certainly the Broncos Giants game, and I'll explain to you when we get there. But that was a fun game to watch, and that was crazy to me. Eagles Falcons. The thing that I noticed about this game was the offense felt explosive for the first time since the Super Bowl run, and after looking at the team, they brought in a whole bunch of just young dudes. Like Quez Watkins was getting the ball a lot. Jalen Hurts was slinging that thing. Miles Sanders was playing. Gainwell, the rookie, was getting a lot of snaps. They didn't play Boston Scott, which really made me sad because I love Boston Scott. Like the only dudes that are older than like 4 years in the league was like Zach Ertz and our O-line. Like 3 of them.
Yeah, your ancient ass O-line.
Yeah, and none of them got hurt! Yeah!
I know, that's the biggest
Brandon Brooks?
The Eagles are coming out of here pretty much unscathed.
You know who got hurt, though? J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Dude, what the heck?
He came out of the game in like the second quarter with an apparent ankle injury. I was like, just call up Travis Fulgham now. We don't need J.J. But yeah, Jalen Hurts started his campaign. He started like 4 for 4, good run, touchdown. Devontae Smith had a good opener.
That opening touchdown to Devontae Smith was pretty.
It was beautiful. 8 targets, 6 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Rager had 6 receptions, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Goddard had 4 receptions, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Like, nice. That was a great opener.
Eagles looked solid.
They looked really good.
I love looking at this Jalen Hurts stat line and the fact that he went 27 of 35. There was only 8 incompletions that he threw all game.
And you know what my favorite stat is? The 0 interception line, because that was our biggest problem last season, was turnovers. And we didn't turn the ball over once. Felt good.
Like, it was crisp. I noticed, like, that opening drive, the Falcons really came out and kind of bullied the Eagles
they bullied
a
the
little bit
hell
on
out of our
opening
defense.
But then the Eagles held, and then they just kept holding.
Yeah.
And the Falcons couldn't do anything. They couldn't accomplish anything. The Falcons couldn't get anything going. I don't know if that's a reflection on the Falcons' offense or if it's a reflection on the Eagles' defense.
And the crazy part about that was, I think the Eagles' defense showed out a lot on the goal line. Because they had 2 big goal line stands. Those 2 field goals at the first quarter. And then they didn't have like a sack all game until like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They got like a bunch of sacks. I think they ended with like 3 sacks or something like that. That was a lot that happened. 2, 3, 3 sacks. They had like none until like the very end. And Hargrave got a couple, and then Hassan Ridgeway got one. But it was great defense, super good defense from the Eagles, and their defense, their great defensive line that I swear I'm gonna die by this. Their defensive line was playing out of their mind. And for once, the secondary did well. Darius Slay attacked the ball. It was like I was looking at old Darius Slay. It felt great, dude. It was great. But I will say the Falcons, they looked really, really solid up until they got their first field goal. They looked like they were about to dominate the hell out of us, and then they got a field goal out of it. And then the Eagles didn't look back. Yeah, so good game from the Eagles. That was awesome.
Yes, I agree.
The next game, Chargers at football team, was really, really, really good. Surprisingly, really, really good. Like, we expected it to be a good game, but I didn't expect it to be feel like this good of a game. Like, it came down to the wire.
Yes. I think the biggest thing that happened here was the injury to Ryan Fitzpatrick, though.
Yeah, but Taylor Heineke came out and was slinging that thing.
I mean, he was doing okay. Went 11 of 15, 122 yards, and a touchdown.
We take those.
Antonio Gibson had 20 carries for 90 yards. Like, he was an absolute workhorse this game.
Yeah, you take those as well. He's doing what Zeke should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. I liked a lot of things I saw from Washington. I liked a lot of things I saw from the Chargers. The biggest thing, when we talked in the predictions episode for week 1,
yes,
we were like, I don't know if this Chargers O-line is going to be able to hold up against this Washington D-line. But they really, really, really did. I mean, like, Chase Young was basically a non-factor this entire game.
Yeah.
I believe Justin Herbert only got sacked once by Montez Sweat.
I'm looking. He got sacked twice. Once by Montez, once by Jonathan Allen.
Okay, well, that's not bad for...
No, 2, yeah. And there were
the
just
Washington
a couple,
defense, 2 sacks.
2 sacks and 2 TFLs. Like, literally, Chase Young had
Exactly.
1 tackle and
Yeah.
2 assisted tackles.
I
That
know
was it.
there was so much good stuff out of the Chargers that I was very impressed with, and most of all, it was their O-line.
Yeah, their O-line definitely held, and I think that helps a lot because you're seeing what this receiving core can do. Like, Keenan Allen went 9 receptions, 100 yards. Mike Williams had 8 receptions, 82 yards, a touchdown to add with it. Jared Cook, I didn't know he was on this team, by the way. 5 receptions, 56 yards. Like, it's looking good for them.
Yeah, I agree.
So, good win from the Chargers. Like, really, really big win from them, and I really respect how their O line held up against like this godly D line that is the Washington football team. Like, their D line is amazing. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I believe, was put on IR, so it seems like Tyler Heineke is going to be starting. But I've heard rumors that they should sign Cam Newton. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, that's what we said at the very beginning was Cam Newton to Washington.
We did.
We said that in our quarterbacks prediction. I really like the Ron Rivera connection there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all.
I think it would help them.
I would like that.
I think it would make sense. I think it'd be a better fit right now than Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall Cam Newton's a better quarterback than Taylor Heineke.
I mean, yeah,
I would
obviously.
agree.
But I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a week or two because I think they want to finish evaluating Ryan Fitzpatrick before they go out and sign Cam Newton.
I would agree.
But like if I think he was placed on IR like yesterday. So
yeah,
we'll see. And by yesterday, today is Tuesday, so we were talking after Monday Night Football, obviously. So typically when we record these are Tuesdays. The last couple weeks have been Wednesday, but just depends on the week. But yeah, I mean Justin Herbert looked pretty clean. Kind of expected him. This next game that they have coming up is against the Cowboys, and I hope they can keep their momentum up because they're playing in SoFi now this week, so that's gonna be cool.
Yep.
Next up, what a
Steelers
game!
Bills.
That was
23-16. Steelers in Buffalo. Steelers come out on top.
Pittsburgh. What else do I need to say about Pittsburgh? They played amazing in the fourth quarter. They made a complete 180 in the fourth quarter. They were losing 10-6, or I think it was 10-0 going into the halftime. It was.
Yeah, 10-0 at halftime.
Yep.
10-6 going into the fourth.
Yeah, they held
and
them.
And they ended up winning 23-16.
Yeah, they held them. The biggest takeaway was I thought Najee Harris was going to be a bigger factor, and he wasn't. 16 carries, 45 yards. I mean, that's not that crazy.
I mean, here's the thing, okay? I think the Bills are the better team. The
Agreed.
Bills win this game 99 out of 100 times.
Right.
Maybe like 90 out of 100 times. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I get you.
Like, the Bills are a better team. I think there was that blocked punt.
That was huge.
That happened as well.
That return for a touchdown.
Yes. Like, I mean, that's a massive play. Like, whatever. And the Bills happen to lose by a touchdown. I don't think that's coincidence.
Right.
Blocked punts happen one every blue moon.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I don't think this game changed my opinion of the Steelers or the Bills too much.
I'm going to give the Steelers a little more credit than I think I should be giving them.
I think when I see a little bit more consistency, I'll believe it. But here's the thing. Don't buy into the Steelers just yet.
Right.
Because look at the Steelers' next opponents.
Yeah.
Raiders at home. Bengals at home.
2 teams that they should
Then
beat.
they play the Packers, which if the Packers play like they did week 1,
they should beat them.
Who cares?
Right.
Then the Broncos. Then the Seahawks.
Which I think that Steelers-Broncos game might be a better matchup than we want to, I think, give credit
I agree. But talk to me week 6 about
Sunday
the Steelers.
Night Football. After week 6, we'll have a conversation.
The Steelers really are week 6. But here's the thing. We're talking about the Steelers being like, the Steelers are not a good team. But I just listed off potentially that they could win the next 4 games.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like they could start the season 5-0 and call it a day.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, like, I don't think the Steelers are a good team, but if they're in the playoffs, who cares? It's going to be like last year.
We'll see, though, because I mean, I think this is Ben Roethlisberger's last year regardless of what happens.
I mean, yeah, he's ancient, dude.
But either way, if their defense can play how they played against the Bills and keep that up all season, I mean, they could be a threat. You can kind of see what they could do. I mean, I don't know about winning a Super Bowl, but, like, they could win. Like they could win some. They could rattle off some wins. So we'll see.
I agree.
We'll see how it goes for the rest of the season. But the Bills just looked like they were in slow-mo the entire second half.
Yeah, the Bills looked slow in the second half. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll patch a handful of things up. I think we'll be good with the Bills.
Yeah, I definitely need to. Stephon Diggs needs to torch people a little bit. They lost a fumble, so that really sucked. But that was like really just it. Like the 2 turnovers is what killed them. The block punt and the 1 fumble really just kind of lost them their game. So they'll patch it up and move on. Niners Lions.
This was an interesting game.
Holy crap! I was watching this game live, and I was live tweeting this game, and Detroit. Dude, I don't know what it is, what got into them in that 4th quarter, but they were on one. Like, straight up, what happened was they went down 38-10, right? They scored a touchdown in the 4th quarter, or the 3rd quarter, right? Punt, 4th quarter rolls around, they get a field goal. The Niners get a field goal, so it's 41-17 at this point, right? With 1 minute and 56 seconds left in the game. They're down 41-17 at this point, by the way.
Yeah.
Score a touchdown. 2-point conversion to T.J. Hawkinson. Great. Onside kick. Recovered. 6 plays, 46 seconds. Touchdown. Jared Goff to, I don't know this guy's name, by touchdown. And then that same guy who I can't pronounce his name, 2-point conversion, successful. Now they're down 41-33. Onside kick again. Fails. They need to run out the clock. There's like a minute left, right? They just need to run out like a couple things and a game over. They 3rd down. They're about to get the 1st down to end the game. I don't remember who punched the ball out, but I think it was Trey Flowers. Literally goes to tackle him, socks the ball out. That was that was crazy. Then they went 8 plays. They drove all the way down the field and got to the 24-yard line. And Jared Goff's O-line kind of crumbled on him. So, if the Lions,
Jared Goff moment.
if Lions straight up just don't start games slow and their offense plays like that for the rest of the season, they could be fun.
I agree. I liked what I saw from the Lions. I liked what I saw from the Niners. Jimmy G looked really good, too.
Surprisingly, Jimmy G looked really good. They were playing Trey Lance a significant amount, too.
They played him for 1 pass, I think.
Did they? He didn't throw the ball.
He threw the ball once.
He's not in the stat line. He's not in the stat line. He definitely threw a touchdown.
He threw a touchdown.
I know he did. Wait, why isn't he here?
He threw a touchdown and he had 3 carries for 2 yards.
Yeah, Trey Lance, touchdown. Why is he not in the Niners? Yo, NFL.com?
Come on, help me out, bro.
He scored the 1st touchdown of the game.
Yeah.
You see my dog? She's just vibing. You see her? She's like, "What's going on? What
I
you
don't
doing?"
see her. I'm not,
well, you can't see her, but everyone else can see her. See,
I'm
she
like,
just jumped out.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
What the dog doing?
The dog is chilling. But yeah, like that was nuts. Deebo Samuel?
I know.
9 receptions,
yards.
189 yards.
Yes,
he only
it's pretty
had
nuts.
1 touchdown. Dude, I don't know who Eli Mitchell is, but he popped off too. 19 carries,
He's a
104
rookie.
yards.
He's a young guy, which came off the Raheem Mostert injury, which, by the way, Raheem Mostert tweeted out a few hours ago.
Oh, yeah, he's getting
that
surgery, season-ending surgery.
His season's over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. It's really rough. Season-ending knee injury, knee surgery. So hopefully he's healthy very soon. But hopefully we'll see him back. We'll see him back next season. I like Raheem Mostert. I think he's a good.
I like
he's
Raheem
an awesome
Mostert a
running
lot.
back.
Yep.
But Eli Mitchell is given an opportunity now, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
And Jimmy G, 17-25, 314 yards, touchdown. He was slinging that thing. So we'll see how they play out the rest of the season. The thing is, I think they're like as much as we gas up, their defense is good, right? I think
Who, the Niners?
Yeah, their defense is
Yes.
like not terrible. They can't let teams do what they did to them. Like the Lions did to them this season. They can't let other teams do that because other teams aren't the Lions, right? Mm-hmm. You can't let explosive plays like that continuously be let up because what I saw from them when they were about to lose the game was great, right? Those last 3 downs. But what I saw on that last drive for like the first like four of those 8 plays was like, y'all might lose this football game now. Like that's crazy. So, yeah, Lions got a lot of heart though. That was nuts. I was shook that I was rooting for them to win at that point. I was rooting for overtime. Like, I was like, yo, just do it.
Yeah, that would have been exciting.
Just
you
do
have
it.
No idea.
Just do it at this point. Like, Detroit? Who? Do it.
Yeah, I know. I did not expect that from the Lions. I was very impressed with the Lions.
Yeah, the 41-17, if they would have ended the game there, I would have been like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
41-33 after that, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, that was actually a really fun game for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Next up on the list, Vikings-Bengals, which went into overtime. How did you feel about this game?
It was a good game. It was a solid game. Good close game. Like we talked about during the week predictions that I feel like these are two teams that are kind of on par with each other. These are two like just sub 500 teams, I think, in my opinion.
Right.
And I think it looked good, honestly. I liked a lot of the things I saw. I think the biggest takeaway that I had is that Joe Mixon is no longer a bum. The 1 year I don't draft him in fantasy, Joe Mixon had an insane day.
That's about time, right?
29 carries for 127 yards and a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Tack on 4 receptions for 23 more yards. Joe Mixon had a fantastic day. Here was another big thing that I noticed. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sacks on Joe Burrow.
Yeah. What did I tell you? What did I say about the O-line? What did I tell you?
Mean, he's gonna get beat up all year. Like that's just what's gonna happen.
But
I like the things I saw from Jamar Chase as well, the rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have to apologize to the Bengals management. Obviously, going and get Jamar Chase, y'all knew what the heck y'all were doing. 5 catches, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown, dude. I was so close to like, oh, Devontae Smith had the debut of the freaking day, and then freaking this guy.
Yep.
Like, sheesh.
I know. It was very impressive.
Very impressive.
I don't think either of these two teams are good enough to make a run, but I am optimistic about these two teams being decent. You know, I feel like the Vikings and the Bengals, I think, are both going to end up playing spoiler at some point this year.
Like, yeah, they're going to be
like
the team that
the Vikings or the Bengals is going to be the reason why like a team ends up being the 3 seed instead of the 2 seed.
Right.
You know,
someone's
like
going to beat an NFC West team and they're going to get dropped to like a 6 seed instead of winning their division or something stupid like that.
Exactly. It's something stupid like that. Like I can see these teams being spoiler type teams.
Exactly.
But I don't think they're very good. I think they're decent and I like a lot of their pieces. They're just missing a bunch.
The Bengals really, honestly, are almost there in my opinion now. Like they are really close to being like a decent team. Like
I think the thing stopping the Bengals is the fact that they're in the AFC North, which is a very, very, very good division.
Right. And that plus they don't have a really good O-line. If they can get if they can get a solid O-line, pay an O-line, I think Joe Burrow has the talent. Their wide receiver core with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd is really good. And if Joe Mixon plays like that,
yeah,
that's a solid team. And their defense ain't half bad.
No, not at all.
I will say though that I did hear rumors that last play that Joe Burrow passed, what's his face, the coach called a run, and Joe Burrow said nah in the huddle. I heard rumors about that. So if so,
that sounds like something Joe Burrow
my
would
man
do,
Joe Burrow
honestly.
won them the football game. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if they were gonna run the ball, then yeah, coach a wimp, bro. Coward. Next up on my Kirk Cousins. I wanted to say something about him before. Kirk Cousins threw 49 passes, and Dalvin Cook ran the ball 20 times. That was so weird to me that he was able to throw 50 times and Dalvin Cook touched the ball 20 times still on the ground.
I mean, yeah, the Vikings,
they're fast.
The Vikings controlled the possession game. And like that's what we talked about. The Vikings are the consistent team.
Yeah.
That sounds like something the Vikings would do is control the ball and play smart.
Right.
But the Bengals are scoring fast.
Yep.
And they don't need the time of possession. They're going to score a lot with the time that they do have. And it ended up paying off for the Bengals. Like, genuinely, this is a game that could have been a toss-up. It could have gone either way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this was the hardest game, in my opinion, to predict this week.
Both teams had a chance at the end.
Yeah.
Like, they each had the ball twice. 3 times for the Bengals, technically. But they had at least twice. And
yeah.
Oh, I remember. Dalvin Cook, the fumble at the end, that was not a fumble. Dude, my man's butt was on the ground. His whole booty cheeks were smushed on that ground. And then the ball came out. Refs, that's a bad. I understand that, like, undisputable evidence. Like, you have to be completely 100% sure. And there were some weird angles, but like, I'd be the guy that overturned that. I'd be like, nah, dude, yeah, he's on the ground. That's Vikings football. So that could also be like in the history of bad calls, but it's like I'm not mad at them. You know, it is what it is. It's not all the refs' fault. Vikings could have done some better things. Anyway, moving on to Jets Panthers. Panthers showed off a really cool graphic to start their season. Did you see the 4D or 3D Panther?
Yeah.
That was dope.
I know, that was super cool.
I hope more teams do stuff like that.
Robbie Anderson's big-ass bear friend.
Right. But Sam Darnold, I think that's the talk of the day.
Yeah, he looked solid with the Panthers. 24, 35, 279 with one touchdown. He didn't look bad. I mean, he didn't look like he was getting, I don't know, living in New York. Or Jersey, I suppose. But same idea. Sam Darnold looked like he wasn't playing for the Jets anymore. He looked like a decent NFL quarterback.
Right, and I think he looked how we expected him to look, not playing for the Jets. Like, decent, with good targets. Also, Christian McCaffrey didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I know.
To
That's
win.
a dub. Christian McCaffrey was the Panthers' leading receiver and their leading rusher. Like
He was their offense.
Christian McCaffrey
Exactly what
is
we
the
expect.
offense. Yes. When Christian McCaffrey's there, the Panthers always have a chance.
And also, I need it to be known, I really love that they have Terrace Marshall Jr. I love him. I think he's a great receiver.
Yeah, he's a
3
solid
receptions, 26 yards. He didn't get in the end zone, but I think he is a solid receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Yeah, I liked
So
a
I
lot of
hope-
the things. There was that one big play from Robbie Anderson
That
too.
was wild. That play, it was his
Yes.
only catch of the day.
Mm-hmm.
57 yards, a tutty.
Which,
and that was the
by
only
the way,
touchdown
Robbie
for Sam
Anderson
Darnold.
used to play for the Jets too.
Yeah, the Jets really said, you
I
know
didn't
what?
even realize this.
Yeah.
The
Side
Panthers
note,
really just started taking the only few good players away from the Jets. That's basically what happened.
That's true. Side note, I'm looking at NFL.com for their stats, right? I wanted to see how Zach Wilson did in his opening day, and the QB stats aren't there.
I can see him.
I kid you not, they're just not there.
I have Zach Wilson going 20 of 37 for 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick.
Yeah, that's a rookie. That's a good rookie. That's a better rookie day.
That's not
I
a
think
bad
that's
day.
better than Trevor Lawrence.
If you throw less than 3 touchdowns, I think that's a good day. I don't care how many yards you throw for.
Right.
When you're throwing for 3 interceptions.
Yeah, like 2 touchdowns and a pick, as opposed to 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. You only lost by 5.
I would take that.
Kind of got blown out by the Texans. Like,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Zach Wilson had a better day than Trevor Lawrence.
And Corey Davis, I told you this guy was going to pop off. 5 receptions, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. I knew he was going to play well.
He's their best receiver. I think he's
By
going to be a
far.
great target for Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah, I was looking forward to him playing for this team. But, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I'm just happy that Sam Darnold played well.
Yep.
Like to see him, and Christian McCaffrey coming out and balling out was really nice. And Robbie Anderson's big play was insane. That was such a cool play. It was so beautiful. It was like ex-Jets on the Jets. It was the story was great. Who is next?
That would
that's
be
right.
Cardinals Titans.
Yeah.
Cardinals and who?
Yeah, the Cardinals. Kyler
'Cause
Murray.
I think
specifically.
the other team forgot to show up. I think.
Yeah. Specifically, Kyler Murray played out of his God-given mind.
Yes, 5 total touchdowns, 4 of them on the air, 1 of them on the ground.
Yeah, dude, Kyler Murray.
2 of them caught by DeAndre Hopkins, the other 2 by Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Like, this was honestly a shellacking by the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And, like, this is what I think I could see from the Cardinals, because when they're hot, they're hot, but
Yeah.
when they're low, they're low.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Titans are a good team, but they're not a great team anymore. I feel like with mainly the loss of Arthur Smith, who was their offensive coordinator and is now the head coach in Atlanta,
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a devastating loss for the Titans. And it showed, like, the Titans couldn't get anything going on the average Cardinals defense. Like, the average Cardinals defense looked really, really solid this week. Isaiah Simmons getting involved,
Chandler
J.J. Watt
Jones.
getting involved, Chandler Jones getting involved.
Yeah, I picked a Cardinal to win Depoy, and I picked the wrong Cardinal. I meant to say Chandler Jones, not J.J. Watt.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, Isaiah Simmons looked solid too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
That
he
team
was out
looked
of his
good.
mind. Yeah, the Cardinals just have like a fistful of dogs on defense. That's the Cardinals' defense.
Agreed.
Is they're relying on their very, very, very good players to win them games on defense. But I mean, the Cardinals just absolutely bullied the Titans. I count 28 carries for 118 yards between Chase Edmonds and James Conner,
Yep.
on top of 289 yards on 21 completions from Kyler Murray.
Oh, this is where
This
Connor
was
went. He
an-
went to the Cardinals. That's a good pickup for them. I just realized.
Yeah, this was an absolute shellacking by the Cardinals.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for me is that I think just the Titans looked lackluster. Like, it's like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I don't want to. Again, this is me not trying to overreact because I think the Cardinals are. I'm not trying to take away from the Cardinals, right? I think the Titans realistically did beat the heck out of themselves. Like, if you look at how they were playing, Ryan Tannehill threw completed 21 passes on 35 attempts for 212 yards, touchdown, and interception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry, 17 carries, 58 yards. That's great defense for me. That's great defense from the Cardinals, okay?
I agree.
The big thing, though, was their receivers. Chester Rogers led receivers in yards, 4 catches, 62 yards. I don't even know who that is, okay?
I don't either.
6 targets. A.J. Brown was second, 4 receptions, 49 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 targets.
Mm-hmm.
Caught 50% of the targets. Julio Jones, 3 receptions, 29 yards, 6 targets. Half the targets. He also didn't get his 8 receptions, 7 receptions that you would expect from Julio Jones. That's the biggest thing to me. And they also fumbled twice. Ryan Tannehill specifically. But it's you need to do better with your receiving core. If you have such a strong offense, Julio, Brown, Henry, Tannehill, great players, do something with it. You can't do what you did and get I can understand being down early because we've seen the Titans down early and we've seen them actually make good plays to get back, right? And I think losing their offensive coordinator is huge. But what I won't say is it felt like they just didn't play up to what I don't want to not even the standard I was holding them to, just their standard in general, right?
Yeah.
They could not be a good team, but they looked like they're not going to win 8 games. They looked really bad.
Not look good. I think they'll win. I think they'll be right around 9 to 10 wins. I think they're possibly a playoff team, but I think basically what I learned is that I think that the Cardinals are better than I thought they were.
I think the Cardinals are much better than I thought they were. Really, really offensively, I thought they were much better.
Genuinely, the Cardinals could potentially be better than the Niners.
I think so too. Especially with that. I
It's-
don't want to overreact again, but that Lions game really made me actually doubt they won, and it made me doubt the Niners more.
Yeah, I mean, you're dominating the Titans versus almost getting beat by the Lions.
Right.
I feel today I feel much better about the Cardinals than I do about the Niners.
Yeah.
I don't know if when all is said and done the Cardinals will be a better team.
Right.
But I think that's potentially a conversation we could be having now.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see come week 4, maybe 6, how we're feeling. But right now, it's without trying to overreact that much, it looks interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Next up on the docket, we have. I think we're now getting into the
afternoon games. Yep.
Browns games
Chiefs,
right after
first of all.
Yep. Browns Chiefs was insane. That was such a good game.
Yes, Browns Chiefs was nutty good.
So I saw. So towards the end of the game, there was a 1-play touchdown. Patrick Mahomes pass to Tyreek Hill. It was the fourth quarter, where they cut the lead down to 2, because they just got scored on going into the fourth quarter. At the end of the third quarter, the Cleveland scored, and then going into the fourth quarter, just bomb Mahomes to Hill. And in the end of the interview, one of the reporters before he walks up was like, "F it, Tyreek Hill's down there somewhere, right?" And then he's like, I was just watching. Patrick Mahomes goes, he's like, "Yeah, I was just watching that play. He's kind of fast. So when you he's a little smaller, but he's so fast that you just throw it up there, and he makes things happen." It was funny, and it was like him acknowledging, "Yeah, I mean, it's true. Just okay, Tyreek's down there somewhere."
Exactly, yeah.
Kelsey put on a show today, but we expect that from him. What the real win here today is, I expected the Chiefs to win the game. I did not expect the Browns to dang near win that game.
No, the Browns were awfully close, and a lot of people are trying to pin that loss on Baker. That loss is not on Baker. There's so much small micro things that happened during that game to why the Browns lost. It's not on Baker. Baker was a part of it.
You want to know what lost them that game? You want to know the biggest reason they lost that game? Their defense became lazy towards the end. They were playing really well, then they got lazy, and then that dropped punt. When they dropped the punt, dude had to run it, and it gave the Chiefs amazing field position, and they scored. You don't do that. Guess what? You pin them back. You got to force them to actually drive up the field and score on you. So, My
Yeah,
humble
I mean,
opinion,
this
that's
was,
what happened.
First half was all Browns, second half was all Chiefs,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it was a solid game. Like genuinely, like in my opinion, this is the AFC Championship. I think these are the two best teams in the AFC.
We'll see, because the
And
Bills could be a little bit better than I expect them to be. Because this is a game, I mean, I don't know.
potentially.
I actually think it's more of a
this is-
toss-up
this
than
is
I
what-
thought it was going to be. Because I was
Yeah,
very
this is
set
what
on
I
certain
predicted
teams.
as the AFC Championship game was Chiefs Browns.
Yeah, I think it's a great potential matchup. I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
We'll see. If the Browns are actually very talented, and I'm very happy that they're as talented as they are. The only thing is I think Baker needs to, like 21 for 28, 321 yards. That's a great day, right? He
Yeah.
didn't score, and his one interception was end of game, which sucks because it came in the worst possible moment.
Right.
But he had a pretty darn good day, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can result in some touchdowns. I think he has a very strong chance to have a very big recovery game next week. So we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Next up,
All right.
Dolphins Patriots, which was also a very good game, and weird. It was a weird ending, if I wasn't mistaken.
Yeah, it was odd. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know
here
it was weird.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, so third quarter, touchdown to open it for the Dolphins. Field goal, 2 field goals. Nick Folk is their kicker, which is hilarious. So they were 17-16. Fourth quarter, they're starting to drive. Tua throws a pick. It's picked off. Then they fumbled. My dog is zooming. Holy crap.
Schmovin.
Davion Howard at Miami 9. So they drove all the way up the field into the 9-yard line, and they forced a fumble, and Dolphins ran out the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, chalk it up to a turnover. I think the Patriots looked much cleaner than I expected them to look.
Yeah.
Mac
Patriots look
Jones
good,
looked
Dolphins
great.
look good.
Now, you want to talk about rookie quarterbacks having a good first day. Mac Jones had the best one of all, in my humble opinion.
Oh, yeah. Michael McCorkle-Jones.
Michael McCorkle-Jones, the GOAT. 29-39, 281 yards, a touchdown. Damian Harris on the ground, 23 carries, 100 yards. I've been complaining about the receiving core for the
Doesn't matter.
for the Patriots. And my boy Nelson Aguilar had 5 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. I saw that touchdown play and I was like, man, I'm going to have to hear about that in the podcast, aren't I?
Oh, yes, you are. Yes. I mean, the Patriots receiver core is definitely not the strength of their team, but it's solid enough. It's decent enough.
It
When
works.
the Patriots O-line is one of the best in the league. It's the best I've seen in New England in my lifetime, even when all those years with Tom Brady.
Right.
Even that 18-1 season.
Yep.
I think this O-line is better than that.
Yeah, no, their O-line's insane.
With a solid running back core with Damian Harris and James White, and James White is a veteran of the Belichick system.
He only ran the ball 4 times.
Yeah,
Caught
they
the ball
caught
6
the ball 6 times.
times on 7 targets. So
Like,
yeah,
that's what
pretty
James White
good.
does.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
he's an Alvin Kamara type. Dump it off to to James White, and he'll go pick up some yards. I don't think he's as talented as Alvin Kamara, but that's kind of the style they use him in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a decent enough chance that he's going to have more catches than he does carries in a given game. Yeah, no, like, I like the Patriots, and I like what they're doing. Mac Jones looks solid. I mean, this was a game of inches, and the Dolphins just, I think, ended up having a few more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like Tua, Jalen Waddle caught his first touchdown pass of the season, career. This week, he had 4 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. I think he looked clean. Tua, I think he needs to clean up a little bit. Like, I felt like it wasn't a terrible day, but I feel like if you want to continue, like, you got to keep moving forward, just a little bit more, just a tad bit better, just a little cleaner, and you're good. Just a little cleaner. That one pick kind of sucked, but at the end of the day, you got the win, right? So.
Yes.
All right, moving on to honestly my favorite game of the week, and not even because the
It's a
Giants
solid game.
lost. Not even because the Giants lost, right? It's because I was shook. Denver Broncos at MetLife Stadium taking on the New York Football Giants. 27-13 win. I want to hear it from the Broncos fan himself.
First of all,
what
this
happened?
might as well have been a 27-7 game. There was a touchdown scored at like the end of the game. You don't have to kick the extra point anymore.
Oh, you don't?
Like,
They don't
this
make
might
you
as
do it
well have been-
anymore? That's fine.
Yeah, they don't make you do it anymore if it doesn't matter.
Oh, got you. Okay.
So, yeah, this game might as well have been 27-7. This might as well have been a shellacking from the Broncos.
Which it was.
Teddy looked good, and then there was that big big run from Melvin Gordon. Those were definitely the key instances. The defense was solid as well. I believe they sacked Daniel Jones, I think, it's twice. Von Miller had 2 sacks this game. Von Miller doing Von Miller things.
Yeah, Von Miller looking great off of that injury. Or
I know,
sit out, whatever he did.
They stopped Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley went 10 for 26, and that's what we said was going to be the difference maker.
Yep.
Was could the Denver Broncos stop Saquon Barkley, and they did.
Stuffed him.
They stopped Saquon Barkley. And Daniel Jones, he had a decent day throwing the ball, but not a great day.
No.
And I think that was ultimately the difference maker.
And I think he had a fumble or 2 that game.
Yeah, there was a lot of fumbles on both sides.
Yeah,
that was the biggest problem, was honestly fumbling from both teams.
I think it was just 1 fumble each lost.
Yeah. But here's my biggest concern right now with the Broncos. They placed Jerry Jeudy on IR officially.
Yeah, but I think he's not going to be out for super crazy amount of time. I think it's like 5 or 6
Ronald Darby
weeks.
on IR.
Oh, well, Ronald Darby's always on IR, so that shouldn't be news.
Right, exactly, but still.
Ronald Darby did play really well. I was very proud of him.
The Broncos secondary can recover.
Yeah.
Because they have a ridiculously good secondary. I'm worried about the receiving core without Jerry Jeudy.
How long is he going to be out, did they say?
Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah.
I haven't seen exactly.
I will say, though, I heard that he suffered a high ankle sprain, which it is significantly better than the injury I thought he was going to have.
Yes.
Because I thought his ankle was shot.
He said he's out for 3 weeks, then will be week to week. So probably like 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, 4 to 5 weeks makes perfect sense. That's what I thought. That's
look at Ronald Darby.
fine in my humble opinion. Ronald Darby sucks. I think Ronald Darby is a good cornerback, honestly, when he's healthy. When he's very rarely healthy, and that's what sucks.
Yeah, he's out for at least 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And Pat Surtain is expected to start over Ronald Darby, yeah.
Nice. I mean, that's good. I mean, Surtain's getting
and if there's a team to do it, it's the Jags.
Oh, that's true. You guys played the Jags this week, so that's good. Oh my gosh, you guys can start 2-0. Convincingly too.
I know, it's gonna be crazy. Nobody saw that shit coming. I certainly didn't.
Not at all. That's
but
nuts.
The Broncos look decent. Like genuinely, I'm pretty optimistic about the Broncos.
Yeah, no, Teddy looked amazing.
Yeah,
I thought Teddy looked so good. The thing that made me happy, first and foremost though, I saw some very, very dirty stuff from the New York Giants. We're taking out Teddy if that's the last thing we're gonna do. They were assaulting my man Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, they were playing very violently.
Yeah, they were abusing him. Like they hit him one time, and it was like that when he was on the Saints or whatever, and they like took his head. Like it looked like he took his head off, and he was like unconscious, or was the Vikings, whatever team he was on.
That was when he was on the Vikings. That was the game that like Teddy Bridgewater
stopped being Teddy Bridgewater.
He missed like 2 years.
Yeah, he stopped being Teddy
from
Bridgewater.
That injury. Yeah.
But he looked really good. 2 touchdowns, 264 yards, 28 of 36, only 8 incompletions.
Yeah.
We were talking about Jalen Hurts having only the same very similar stat line. Like, good game from Teddy. Good game from Teddy.
Who didn't look good?
Who?
As we're moving on, is Aaron Rodgers.
As we go on to the next week of quarterbacks who didn't look good. But you know who looked... I felt like this game was flipped.
Who did look good?
Mr. Jameis, eat that W, crab legs, Winston. My man looked godly.
Who would be winning the NFL MVP if it was handed out after the end of week 1?
Jameis
freaking Winston.
Hold that W, eat that W, Winston, because he is insane that week, dude.
I know, like, the Saints absolutely torched the Packers.
38-3?
I did not see this coming.
Dude. No, I saw the score. It was like 24 to like, I think it was 24-3 at one point, and I was shook. Like I was shook at that point. I was like, what's going on?
I know Aaron Rodgers had 2 pretty bad picks, only threw for 133 yards, 15 to 28. Like the Packers looked terrible. Not good.
Yeah, they looked terrible. No, I'm not even gonna say it. They looked atrocious. If you want my honesty though, I think the biggest deal is that Aaron Rodgers offseason. It was the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams offseason, and that really kind of screwed with like practice time, and that really screwed with preseason planning and all that stuff. Because are they going to have to play without Aaron Rodgers? Are they going to play with Aaron Rodgers? Are they going to have to play without Devontae Adams? They got blown out, right? They got torched. They got smoked. The Saints gave them the smoke, right?
Yes.
The thing that I'm thinking slightly less of the Packers, but I'm not overreacting. I think they're a garbage team. Okay, I think they very well could still very well win their division and it not be too hard, my opinion.
No, I mean, they have the advantage of
Everyone else losing in the division? Yeah.
Well, they have the advantage of the Lions not being good, the Vikings not being good, and the Bears not being good.
Right. And the only team I can see them competing with is the Bears, and the Bears are middle of the pack, in my opinion. They have a chance to make playoffs, but, like, I don't know. Unless the Packers keep looking like this, then we're going to have NFC East last year's situation on our hands, if you want my honest opinion.
Potentially. This could be a bad division.
But
if the Packers aren't good, like, the NFC North is not good.
Yeah. The thing that I think more so proved to me this week than anything else that I need to hop on the Saints train. Because, again, I'm not trying to overreact, but my Lord, did they look like Jameis Winston looked like a 5-star caliber quarterback.
Yeah, I like the Saints this week. They looked, honestly, a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting them to struggle. I was expecting them to lose because I thought the Packers were that good. But I think the Packers are a little bit too dramatic, and the Saints are much better than I thought they were.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give the Saints their props because Jameis Winston, I'm not playing with you right now. I'm not throwing you the ball. Stop. Jameis Winston looked like a quarterback who, like he was on the Bucs. Like, honestly, if you take away those 30 interceptions, like, not all of them, right? But if you take away the fact that he threw 30 interceptions and you just look at everything else, the dude had an amazing year that year, right? 30 touchdowns, had like 5,000, like nutty season.
He had a great year. Jameis Winston was a solid quarterback in Tampa.
Yeah.
He just wasn't,
he wasn't Tom Brady. Right. But now he's on his own team. He's doing his own thing. Like, this dude can ball. And if he's 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, that's the big number for me. 0 interceptions, 14 passes. Literally almost half of his passes completed were fucking touchdowns.
Over a third of his passes were touchdowns.
He only threw for 148 yards. Like, what?
Yeah.
Without Mike Thomas.
I know. It's pretty crazy.
Like, oh man, New Orleans, y'all something's cooked. Y'all put something in the gumbo that morning. I don't know what, dude. Y'all got something cooking. I'm excited. I hope they ball out the rest of the season. I am thoroughly hopping on the Saints train. Unfortunately, who do they play this week? They play someone.
The Saints play the Panthers.
Oh, never mind. Unfortunately, I'm on it. Choo-choo, Saints. Who dat? Who dat? Because who dat? My dog's saying who dat? Who dat? Look at her. She's like, what's up? What's going on? Me and Chris were like, we gotta buy her an Eagles jersey and put it on her, like one of the pink ones. That'd be funny. Next up, we're heading on to the primetime games, the other 2 primetime games of the week. We have Sunday Night Football, Bears at SoFi. SoFi was amazing, beautiful, and was popping.
It was popping.
Bears at Rams. Bears looked good. I want you to know the Bears looked amazing. Okay, and this is where I'm going to say this.
The Bears?
Just listen to what I'm going to say. Okay, just trust me.
All right,
trust the
I'll
process.
hear you out.
Bears looked amazing for the first 30 seconds of that football game. Like, the kick return, nuts.
Yeah.
That run by Montgomery, nuts. Finish the drive, interception by Andy Dalton. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, Bears. I had hope for y'all. And I'm in Chicago. So, like, there's 2 bars around me. You heard, like, the hype, and then you heard just the air suck out of the entire city. I swear. It was like, dude, what? It was crazy.
Here's the thing, though. I did like what the few plays that they did throw Justin Fields in. He looked really good.
He looks clean. I don't know why they just don't play him at this point. Like, give him a chance. Like, we said it, though. They're not going to give him a chance for a couple weeks. If they're going to give him a chance, it's going to be like what happened with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts last year, you know?
I agree.
So, it's just frustrating because I think he's really solid. Really, really solid. And I will give him his props. But we'll see. I mean, the Bears, I think they can look clean. But you know what? It's hard to beat a team that we think is a Super Bowl contender because they are. They showed up and made those plays. Like, the Rams played amazing.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford looks so comfortable in the system, it's not even fair.
I know. Matt Stafford was solid, and I'm very impressed with the Rams and what Matt Stafford was able to do with that offense.
Right.
Like, we're not trying to overreact quite yet, but I genuinely think the Rams are a Super Bowl contender.
No. We said that before the season started. I'm not trying to overreact to that. That is an assumption, and we're not the only ones. I've seen podcasts and stuff. Like, do you know who MMG is? He's a YouTuber, Madden
It
YouTuber.
sounds familiar.
He's a Madden YouTuber, and he did his predictions. He said the Rams are Super Bowl contenders. His eyes. I'm pretty sure Pat McAfee. I love watching it. I love watching his podcast. He is
Pat
a
McAfee's
good
fun,
guy.
yeah.
Rams are Super Bowl contenders. Like everyone is on the. We are on the Rams train. Trust me, the Rams are a solid team. Like if they could go to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff and pretty much bring back better players, and then have Matt Stafford instead, like that's a contender team. That's a contending team. So under Sean McVay, oh gosh, yeah, that seems disgusting.
Right? I know. It's so much fun.
That seems not fair. I will live and die by that team. That's crazy. But I think the Rams showed out in SoFi as they were supposed to, right? They did their job. Speaking of teams with their really big home openers, Raiders, Monday Night Football. We kind of sort of watched that game together. We were playing D&D last night, and I had the game on in the background, and I muted because I was reacting. Like my reactions were like, what is happening?
I know. This was the game of the week, in my opinion. This was
no
so
doubt.
much fun.
No doubt. Remember at the beginning of the week, America's game of the week, Packers versus Saints.
Right? Imagine.
That's what it was. It was America's game of the week.
I know. Imagine. Oh, my God. No, this was insane.
This game was
an insane game.
Out of this world.
Raiders
insane.
end up beating the Ravens 33-27
in overtime
on Monday Night Football.
In Allegiant.
What a game.
In Vegas.
Yeah. It was impressive, genuinely.
So, how this game went down, right? The fourth quarter was a bloodbath, okay? Third quarter, only score that came out of third quarter was a field goal. Fourth quarter, overtime.
Third quarter was a dud.
Bloodbath. There was a Ravens fumbled. Raiders forced a fumble on the Ravens because the Ravens should have been able to close the game out, in my opinion. Should have been able to drive down that field, close the game out. Fumble. No, my dog is trying to go under my desk because she wants her ball. Okay, there.
What is the dog doing?
Causing trouble. What else is the dog? What doesn't the dog? She wants me to play fetch with her. But after the podcast, I'll play with you, okay? I promise.
We got stuff to do.
So force the fumble, right? Then they go up and score in 5 plays. 41 yards, 5 plays. Good job. But 75-yard drive, touchdown by the Ravens. Great drive. Right? Good job. Derek Carr comes down and does the same thing. Touchdown. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Stop playing with my desk. Then Ravens, field goal. Then super quick, by the way, like 35 seconds they had on the clock. And Raiders came down and scored. Like, they came down and scored very quickly. They got that field goal to tie the game. Daniel Carlson shut me up and scored very effective. Like, got a good field goal in. Then they go to OT. Now, overtime was nuts.
Yes, overtime was crazy.
Raiders drive all the way up the field. They get a big play, reach across the goal line, game over. Everyone's celebrating, going wild. I was like, no shot, he just did that to him.
Yeah.
And then it was called back. It was half a yard short, and his knee was down,
yeah,
right?
It was pretty clearly, but yeah.
Then they throw a pick.
I know, like that's insane.
Then the Ravens start to drive, and then Lamar Jackson fumbles.
I know, that's such a Raiders thing to do.
And then the Raiders call one play, get up the field a little bit, go to put the field goal team out a timeout, delay a game, so they bring the offense back to get it a little closer for Daniel Carlson, and instead Derek Carr's like, no, okay, I feel like ending the game now, and throws a lob, touchdown to Jones. Game. He called game in Elite. That was what a game, dude. What a game, bro. Derek Carr looked elite. I'm not going to cap. Derek Carr looked like he was playing out of his mind. 56 attempts was a little high in my opinion, but he threw for 435 yards, so.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
Say
he
less.
do what he do.
Say less.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs only touched the ball 10 times, but he scored twice out of that.
Yeah.
Darren Waller looked out of his world, 10 receptions, 105 yards. And I'm not even going to discredit the Ravens. The Ravens played amazing. Like, they played really good football. The overtime could have been a little bit more to be desired. Their defense looked a little lackluster and tired, and their offense just couldn't get it going. Raiders felt like they had more in the tank when it came to OT. But Lamar Jackson, 19 of 30, 235 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. He fumbled the ball, I think, twice this game, but he had 12 carries for 86 yards. Right? I think the biggest thing that came out of this game is their lack of running backs showed. If they would have had running backs, I felt like one of their running backs didn't die this offseason. They would have I think they would have controlled the game a lot better because you could see that they had a pass.
I think they certainly missed. Yeah, they certainly missed their running back core. They certainly missed. Who Who else? Marcus Peters.
Yeah, that's a big one because like Derek Carr was able to do things like you honestly don't think.
Throw 435 yards.
Yeah, you think he wouldn't do otherwise. So
Yeah.
I'm having a tough time giving the Ravens more props, and I'm really sad that injuries is what's gonna shoot them in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the pickup of Le'Veon Bell is going to help them a lot.
I agree.
I just
like the
hope
pick of Le'Veon
that
Bell
he plays
and
this week.
Of Latavius Murray.
Yeah,
and they
Latavius
got
Murray's
Devontae
good.
Freeman too.
Yeah, I think their running back core just got really solid. None of them are going to stay at the end of the year, in my opinion. I think J.K. Dobbins is the running back, and who Gus Edwards. I think they're better. Like they're solid backs. But we saw Sammy Watkins play like old Sammy Watkins. It was weird. 4 receptions, 96 yards. Nice. Marquise Brown had 6 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown. Also nice. It was good. It was a good week it was a good week. They just lost 2 fumbles. Lamar Jackson held on to the football just a little bit more. That they could have very well won that football game. So that's all it was. Little mistakes that they could clean up, and I think they just missed the fact that they don't have running backs and no Marcus Peters, who is I want to say their best cornerback, but like it's kind of a toss-up between him and Marlon Humphrey,
Yeah.
Because they're both really good cornerbacks.
They're both solid.
So Raiders just balled out. They had more in the tank at the end of the game. Derek Carr played elite, and that's all I have to say. I think the Raiders could surprise some teams. They could play. I think they could play spoiler like some other teams. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But with that was the week.
That was week 1. Let's talk some week 2 predictions.
Real quick before we go into the predictions, right?
Sure.
Everyone, if you play in a West division, you won this week. Did you notice? Did you see that?
West, everybody in the AFC West is 1-0.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy.
And
wasn't there an entire division that lost too?
The NFC North, Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings all lost.
All lost.
And then in the South, everyone but the Texans lost, which was wild. And then East, everyone but the Dolphins lost. In the East over in NFC, everyone but the Eagles lost. Yay. And then the Bengals and the Bengals and Steelers are the ones with the wins that week. You know, the 2 teams that we expected to finish 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the rest of the season goes because we can't overreact, right? It's week 1, but it's really fun to look at. The Saints, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, they were one of the most impressive parts of week 1.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a look at some week 2 matchups now. I am very excited. First and foremost, Thursday Night Football coming up. You guys will probably see this Wednesday night, I hope. If not, obviously tweet out the Thursday game. Thursday Night Football, Giants at Football Team, a division rivalry, a game that we know we're going to have to watch. A little shocked it's on prime time so early, no cap, but it is what it is. How do you feel about this game?
This is an interesting matchup because I feel like we're talking about a good Giants offense and a good Washington Football Team defense. And I think it's a solid matchup, and it does feel weird that this is like a week 2 Thursday game. Like this feels like it should be a little bit more significant, you know? Like this feels like a Saturday afternoon kind of game.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Saturday afternoon game.
I think it's a solid matchup though, and I think it's going to be interesting because I think the Giants and Washington are both kind of in weird transitional phases right now.
Agreed. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. Here's my thing though. Okay. Give me the Giants to win this game.
I just thought about switching my pick from Football Team to Giants because it's
I switched it about 3 minutes ago.
I think I've been contemplating it for a while because since Ryan Fitzpatrick's hurt, it's really weird for me to
on a short week.
Yeah, and like
that's the thing that kills me.
The thing is that like if the Chargers O-line can hold, can the Giants O-line hold? I mean, Giants O-line is a little bit worse.
Yeah.
But Saquon.
I don't know.
This is a tough call.
Gosh, the more I think about it, the more I want to switch back to Washington.
I'm
sticking to my guns.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna go Football Team. I'm gonna stick to my guns.
I'm gonna go Giants.
And the reason being, I think the D line is gonna recover and play better. Hey.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so you're taking Washington. I'm taking the Giants.
We're starting off opposites this week. Fun.
Right.
Yeah, I think the D line is going to be the determining factor. I think it's either what the biggest factor of this game is D line versus Saquon Barkley. That is going to be the matchup of the week. If that's the matchup of the game. If that matchup goes in either favor, that's who's winning the football game, in my opinion. Because I think Taylor Heineke can ball, when he needs to. Like, he low-key almost won a playoff game for them last year. Like,
Right.
he almost beat Tom Brady. Let's talk about it, right? So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Moving on, Patriots at Jets.
So, this is the second divisional matchup for the Patriots in the AFC East already. This time it's in MetLife Stadium playing the Jets. I think the Patriots win this game.
I agree.
I'm not quite ready to commit to trusting the Jets.
Neither am I.
I think I liked what I saw. I liked a handful of things that I saw against the Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to commit to the Jets are going to win a football game or win a few football games.
I think the Patriots have a better defense than the Panthers do. And I think that Zach Wilson is going to kind of struggle as a rookie. I think Mac Jones might actually, I didn't ever think I would say this, tear apart a defense this week, you know?
If I could pinpoint a single group of people who struggle against Bill Belichick, it's rookie quarterbacks.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And Zach Wilson is coming into this game, and he's probably going to struggle this week, in my opinion, especially with the corners that they have. Like, that's not fair. So I'm going Patriots too. Yeah.
I'm going Patriots as well. All right, Broncos at Jags.
This one's an easy one for me, honestly.
I think it's an easy one as well.
The Broncos prove that they can ball out, in my opinion.
I think the Broncos looked impressive week one. I think the Jags did not. I don't have a reason to believe the Jags would win this game.
Yeah, if you lose to the Texans,
the Broncos
then
to beat the Jaguars.
Yeah, sorry.
You
Broncos.
can't lose to the Texans
free.
and expect me to pick you.
Yeah.
Sorry, free.
Especially against the Broncos. Free real estate.
Yeah.
Broncos
All
are
right,
clean.
Bills at Dolphins, the other AFC East division matchup.
This one is actually a little bit closer than I want to give it credit for, because
You asked me a week ago. This game is pretty easy. To
yeah,
decide
I would
for
have
me.
picked Bills in a heartbeat, like no questions asked. I actually had to think a little bit harder about this one because I felt like the Dolphins aren't a bad, like I don't think they're a bad football team, right? But I don't think they're the Bills.
No. Right.
The problem is that the Bills lost to the Steelers. I think what's going to happen is Bills are going to patch up. Josh Allen's going to look like MVP quarterback that we expect him to, and I think they win this football game on the road. Problem is it's in Miami. That's another scary thing.
Versus the Steelers, I think the Bills win most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely thinking like that Steelers game is a fluke, and I'm hoping that it is. So yeah, I think that they can beat the Dolphins, and I agree with you. I think the Bills win this game.
If the Bills lose this game, we're gonna have to. I think we have to early start talking about what the heck's wrong with the Bills.
Yeah.
Next up, Niners at Eagles. Eagles at home for the first time this season.
So
this game is actually more last in my pick'ems. I picked the Niners to win this football game, like initially. This game after week one becomes a lot closer than I expected it to be. Just so we're clear. Even if I picked the Niners here, I think this game is much closer than I thought it was going to be.
I agree.
The biggest thing for me and how this game is going to play out is is the Niners defense going to fold like they did last week? Or can the Eagles defense keep up with the Niners offense? Can they get to Jimmy G? Can they get to Jimmy G? Because that's the biggest thing in my opinion.
The Niners defense is not the Falcons defense.
No, it's not. Not even a little bit.
Two entirely different beasts.
See, the thing is, but the offense is like really good. Like I think the Falcons have a stacked offense and held them 6 points, right? I don't think you're gonna do that against the Niners. I think they're gonna get like one of those field goals is probably a touchdown, right? Maybe a field goal, but they're probably gonna get one of those touchdowns because they have George Kittle. I think one of the biggest situations though is that there's no Raheem Mostert, and that was someone that torched us when we played the Niners last year. So we beat the Niners last year. There was no Jimmy G. George Kittle played. Mostert played. I don't remember who their backup was at the time. We also threw a lot of picks. If we can stay mistake-free, I think the Eagles win this game. I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this football game at home.
I'm going to agree with you.
But I think it's very close. Like, that is a really big toss-up.
It's very close, and I'm going to agree with you. I think the Eagles were really impressive week one. I think the 49ers were a little bit less impressive, and I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to go with the Eagles as well.
Nick Sirianni's debut was honestly, like, he shocked me, dude, and I was not mentally ready for that. So, it was like the don't do that, don't give me hope meme. Like, Rams at Colts. Poor Colts, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going Rams.
Poor Colts.
I don't even need to say
going,
anything else.
I mean, I just got done telling you how I think the Rams are Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Rams to beat the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts just got torched by Tyler Lockett. Like, I'm scared for what Matt Stafford's about to do to these boys.
Yeah.
Right. Raiders at Steelers.
So this one I think is close.
Actually,
too.
yeah, it's much closer than I would have said last week.
These are two 1-0 teams who are expecting to be 0-1.
Yes, agreed.
This game is a lot closer, and if I'm basing it off of what I saw from the Steelers versus the Bills and what I saw with the Raiders versus the Ravens, I feel like I should be taking the Raiders here. I think the Raiders looked much more impressive than the Steelers did in a vacuum. I'm going to go with the Steelers here, though, because I think the Steelers' defense is way, way, way too much for the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens' defense is not the Steelers' defense, especially without Marcus Peters.
Agreed.
So, yes, I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this game.
I'm going with the Steelers, too, this week. I think for the same reason. I think their defense is just significantly better, and I don't think Derek Carr is going to throw for 435 yards. Because he threw for 435 yards, and they won in overtime. And I don't think you're going to see, like, Ben Roethlisberger's not a scrambler, so you're not going to see, like, 3 fumbles from the quarterback. I hope. So, we'll see.
Yep.
Bengals at Bears. Chi-Town is getting their first home game of the season. What are we feeling?
Here's the thing. I think I overestimated the Bears. They looked really not good against the Rams.
The problem is I can't give them – I have to give them the benefit of the doubt only because they played against a team that we think is potentially going to the Super Bowl, right? That's a team that should do what they did. Like, if you're playing a middle-of-the-pack team, you should do what you did to that team.
Yeah, I agree. So I think this is a little bit of an upset prediction. I think I'm going to go with the Bengals.
I'm not mad at you because I almost went with the Bengals. I'm gonna go right now, my hometown team, Chi-Town. So we'll see.
Yep. Okay. Texans at Browns. Do we have to talk about this?
We
one?
don't. But I swear if the Browns lose this football game. I swear if the Browns lose this football game.
Yeah, the Browns lose this football game. We're concerned about the Browns. We're concerned about the Texans. Like, what kind of...
No,
how are the Texans cheating?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what PEDs they're on at this point.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out
what kind of
Spygate, Deflategate bullshit the Texans are running.
Because instead of, like, puncturing Tyrod Taylor's lungs, they're puncturing every muscle he has. That's all.
With enlargement juice.
Something. I'm picking the Browns, but I swear if the Browns lose this football game...
I'll be, All right, Saints at Panthers.
This was actually surprisingly easier for me. I think Jameis Winston just torched the Packers. He's about to torch the Panthers. I'm going Saints on the road.
I'm gonna stick with the Saints as well. I mean, I'm riding the hot team here.
Yeah, no.
I think the Saints look much more impressive.
Jameis Winston for MVP.
Yeah, it's hot. So I'm gonna go with the Saints.
All right, Vikings at Cardinals. We want to talk about hot hands.
Same exact logic.
Yeah, we're riding the hot hands. I'm going Cardinals. Yeah, the same logic. I think the Cardinals are played out of their mind against a better team in the Titans. The Vikings are coming off I think, a disappointing L because they could have very well won that first game. It's going to be really hard to beat Arizona in Arizona right now. So,
yeah.
Falcons at Bucks. We don't pick the Falcons.
Come on. We don't pick the Falcons on this. We don't pick the Falcons on this podcast. So I'm picking the Bucks.
Bucks over here too.
Yeah.
Titans at Seahawks. This was a little bit tougher for me, but I actually am going Seahawks because I think
I'm going Seahawks too.
I think Russell Wilson is just if you're getting cooked up by Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson is like older, wiser Kyler Murray with a little bit less legs now.
Yeah.
So unless Derrick Henry runs for 200 yards, it's gonna be tough for y'all.
In Seattle too.
Yeah. With fans.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I don't know. The Titans looked rough last week. I have a hard time believing that they'll beat the Seahawks, who I think are better than the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the Titans will recover week 3 where they play the Colts. I think they'll have a better game then. But this week it's really tough. Really tough.
Yep. All right, Cowboys at Chargers in SoFi Stadium.
Whoo! This is actually a fun game. I think the Cowboys are a better team. Plain and simple. I'm not even gonna stutter it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm picking the Chargers to win this game.
I disagree with you. I think the Chargers are the better team. That's why I'm picking the Chargers to win this game.
I think Cowboys are. I think Dak is insane. The problem is if they can feed Zeke, I think they could beat them. Yeah. The Chargers look clean. Like they won. It was a good, clean win against Washington, a team we thought they were gonna lose to. It was clean, and if again O-line holding, I don't think the the Cowboys defense can keep up with the Chargers. The problem is, can the Chargers defense keep up with the Cowboys offense? Because their offense is explosive if they're hot. So Sunday Night Football, honestly, is supposed to be game of the year. Like, straight up, no questions asked. Like, up there.
It's up there.
Right? It's supposed to be up there for, like, game of the year. Like, that's a matchup.
Yeah.
Like,
Chiefs-Ravens is always going to be fun to watch.
Started this year playing the Browns and then the Ravens. Two teams that they potentially could run into the playoffs consecutively, right? Mm-hmm. This is going to be a fun game. I hope they call up Le'Veon Bell within the next couple of days, but with the knowledge that he's on a practice squad still. Even with Le'Veon Bell, I think I'm still taking the Chiefs.
I'm inclined to agree. I think the Chiefs are really good, and I think I have a few questions about the Ravens lately.
Yeah, no Marcus Peters really, really hurts them for this matchup specifically, because the two cornerback system really helps when they're going up against teams like the Chiefs, because then you have people to guard Tyreek and McCole Hardman and help with Travis Kelce and do all these other jobs that they can do. And Clyde is really good. Like, you just can't do that with only what's his face? The other cornerback that's actually playing.
Marlon Humphrey?
That guy. Thank you. So, we'll see.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I am also going with the Chiefs. And then Monday Night Football, Lions at Packers, which is a great divisional matchup. Very good rivalry. Very fun. I think it's going to be a fun game. If the Lions played their last 2 minutes of football, they can play that for 60 minutes of football. They don't have to do like exactly that. Like, all right, just play that kind of like that intensity. They need that kind of level of play. They could probably play upset here. I think if the Lions wins, it's an upset. Okay, that's plain and simple.
I was this close. You can't see my screen. This close. I'm pinching my fingers really close.
I will see in editing. Don't worry.
I'm this close to picking the Lions.
I can't willingly pick against Aaron Rodgers against Detroit.
I can't justify that after week 1. Though.
At home. I can't do it.
I can't do it either. I'm picking Green Bay.
Like, I know we picked the Niners to lose against the Eagles strictly because of what happened, but like I feel like that's such a different scenario than this one.
It is. It's the Lions. And
yeah.
I feel like the Packers, I'm hoping the Packers, this was like a week 1 fluke.
Yeah.
For the Packers' sake.
Yes. I hope so too. I think they're going to get their crap together. Saints just balled out. The Saints were better than we expected them to be. Like, much better. Yep. Maybe that's all it was. That's all it is at the end of the day. So Packers can recover from that very, very easily, especially since they have to play the Lions. I hope.
I hope, in theory.
But yeah, so I have football team, Patriots, Broncos, Bills, Eagles, Rams, Steelers, Bears, Browns, Saints, Cards, Bucks, Seahawks, Chargers, Chiefs, Packers.
Give me the Giants, Patriots, Broncos, Bills, Eagles, Rams, Steelers, Bengals, Browns, Saints, Cardinals, Buccaneers, Seahawks, Chargers, Chiefs, and Packers.
All right, so we are once again just 2. So we'll be looking at the Thursday Night Football game and that afternoon game between the Bears and Bengals. So we'll see how everything goes. Shoot, I wonder how much tickets are to that game. Let's find out. Bears Bengals. Would it be that interesting? I should go say I went, before it gets stupid cold, right?
Yeah, I think you got to go see a Bears game, and you got to go see a Bears game in September because you're not going to go in November.
Definitely not. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Gosh, it'd be really cool.
And you're not going to go see a Bears game in January. That's probably true.
What about October 3rd? Bears at Lions at Bears?
That could be fun.
That would be a fun game. I think that'd be an insane game. Maybe that's the one I got to keep my eyes peeled for. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to look on the Game Time app after we record and be like, I wonder what tickets look like. All right, well, with that, you guys, I think that is a wrap on the episode. Hour and a half that makes more sense for what we usually do. That is about right. Chris. That's about right. Last week was an hour. The week before was like 2 hours. Mm-hmm. This was clean. This was nice. This is our middle of the ground. Do you have anything that you are looking out for this week specifically? Because I will say I'm very much interested with how the Packers recover Monday Night Football. That is going to be the biggest game of the week, my humble opinion, because I think
I want to see what happens with the Lions and the Packers game, very particularly. I want to see what happens with the Chiefs Ravens game.
That's gonna be a fun game. I expect that to be fun no matter what.
I also really want to see what happens with Niners Eagles.
Rams
Colts.
I think Niners Eagles.
The Eagers.
The
Eagers and the Nine Goals.
I'm curious to see how the Eagles respond because like they won a game, right? They played well.
Mm-hmm.
Niners also won a game, played really well, but then they kind of slowed down at the end. Eagles didn't let their foot off the gas. Can they do that again, but against a better team? We'll see. If they beat an NFC West team and start 2-0,
that'd be impressive.
You fly, Eagles fly. We'll see y'all week 10. Is that when we play you guys? Yeah, we play you guys. That's going to be a fun podcast. I'm so looking forward to that podcast.
Yeah.
Those 2 podcasts back-to-back are going to be great. With that, you guys, we are going to get the heck up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening over on Spotify. By the way, I guess I did not say this at the beginning, and I meant to say this at the beginning. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I might do a prequel then to this because now I got to do it. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And everything from season 1 was deleted, and now it is all back up on Spotify. Mm-hmm. I had to relaunch everything. It took me, like, I kid you not, like 4 hours, 5 hours to do this because I had to basically, I had to re-edit all of them because I had to convert them all into MP3 files because they were all in WAV files because SoundCloud works off of WAV and they sound better than MP3 files, but the new system works purely off of MP3. So I had to like reload everything. I had to run it in and re-edit all of it. So you'll see them all. They'll say like week 7 wrap up, week 8 predictions, and then it'll say re-upload next to it. These ones will have like titles next to them because it's easier to do that way. And then I might put it in parentheses on the new ones. I might do like season 1 episode this, season 2 for this one episode this. So you'll see them and hopefully bracket up like that. I might have to do some more working around and editing, but everything is all up on SoundCloud. Now I'm not SoundCloud, Spotify. And then you see the YouTube videos obviously are up there. So hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Trying to get those 100 subs. I would appreciate it a ton, but appreciate everybody that's subbing now. And also hit the follow button on the new Spotify. Again, the numbers really help a lot, and they help me kind of see what everyone is liking and what they aren't liking. Any closing remarks from Mr. Eric?
I got nothing. Another fun week of football ahead of us.
I am excited. Football is back, and it is stronger than ever. It was very fun week 1. I'm very looking forward to week 2. Catch you guys all next week for the week 2 wrap-up, week 3 predictions. See y'all next week. Peace.
See ya.